Hello everyone and welcome to our live. Let's run a quick sound check and let me know if you can hear and see me well, just to make sure that everything is working right. Okay, so I'm Maria from Edit Academy and I'm really excited for having you today at this special live masterclass, Bathroom Visualization Made Easy. So from wherever you are watching us, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you have this time and you decided to be with us at this live masterclass. So let's warm a bit up this chat, and I just want to know, where are you watching us from today? Because I always love seeing how global this community is, and of course I will try to greet each of you as the messages will come up in the chat. So let me know, where are you from, what's your main occupation. Maybe you are interior designer, an architect, maybe you are a 3D artist, or maybe you are a student at the beginning of this journey in the 3D visualization field, or interior design, or anything else. Let us know, and I'll be curious to see all these messages in the chat. So we have Leon from Bangladesh. Hi Leon. Hi Dean from Dubai. Nice to meet you all. Okay, we have someone from Austria, from Bulgaria too. So wide map we have in here, so I'm so glad each of you could make it and come live to our masterclass. Okay, Lithuania. I'm really sorry if I won't pronounce to write your names. Rusne, I hope I did it right. So Milka from Serbia, nice to meet you. And we have someone here from interior design. Okay, that's good. And of course, one more quick question for you, because I also want to know if there are some of you the first time present in our masterclasses, and if you are first time here, just type first time in the chat, or if you've been taking part in our other masterclasses, just type back again and let's see how many of you already are in our community and who of you is new in here, because it's always amazing to see both new ones and returning 3D friends here. So let's see who is the first time. Okay, we have a lot of first time people in here. So let me greet you, all of you. So I'm so happy, and it's so nice to meet you all here. So we have Anna from Greece. Hi Anna. Hi Eva. Giovanni. It's so nice to have all of you here. Okay, by the way, we run this type of live masterclasses regularly, so if you don't want to miss each time we have a new live session, just subscribe to our YouTube channel or just hit the notification button so you won't miss it in the future. And for those new here, I think it will be important to know, for you to know more about us, who's behind Edit Academy. So let me introduce myself and my colleagues. So there are two of us. Okay, just 1 second. So I'm Maria and my colleague Vlad. We are both architects and interior designers, so that both of us have more than 11 years of experience in the field. We are also Autodesk certified instructors, and during many years we've helped a lot of students to start their careers in interior design. And of course, we've spent a lot of time and gathered a lot of knowledge so that we could build a workflow in 3D visualization that's clean, that's efficient, and most important, gives the expected results faster and with less stress. Nobody wants to learn things when it comes to frustration or when it is stressful. And I'll be honest that bathrooms were always one of the most frustrating parts of my journey in this field. So once I figured out the right approach, the bathrooms became one of my favorite, actually, scenes to work with. And today I'm going to walk you through the entire process and through everything that helped me to make that shift. So we know that, rendering bathrooms may seem simple, but actually these tight spaces, tricky lighting, and all the things that make it look not that right, bathrooms usually are the hardest room to visualize. So that's why we've decided to have this type of masterclass and to share all we know about this with you. Of course, there are different other social media where you can find us. We are really a lot present on Instagram, so we have a lot of short tutorials over there where you can learn a lot of things about tips and tricks and other interesting stuff using 3ds Max and Corona Renderer. So if you are interested, you can go and find us and follow us there too. The YouTube channel you already are in here, and of course the Patreon. In Patreon we have a community where we share a lot of interesting stuff. We share a lot of materials. We share a lot of. We can share even scenes or presets. A lot of them are free, but also there are some stuff that can be bought over there. And if you want to support all the thing we do in here on YouTube and on all other platforms, we'll be glad to have you in that community on Patreon. So you can find us there too. So you can follow the links. We have pinned some links with our channels, our platform, so that you can quickly access them. Okay, so what are the most common challenges in bathroom visualization? I'm pretty sure that you could mention some of there, and I will be glad to see if you have some of the common challenges that you meet each time when you have to work on a bathroom room for visualization. So I will try to go through the most common mistakes that usually can be done in bathroom visualization. And even if bathrooms might look simple, just small spaces, just some tiles, lighting, or mirrors, or sink, and all this stuff like this, they usually can turn into a total nightmare if the workflow isn't solid. If you get not the expected results when getting to the final renderings. So I would like to show you some of the most common mistakes and challenges I've seen and I've made myself when I started when I challenged myself to solve this problem. So so that you could know exactly what to avoid and what to focus on. Okay, and the first challenge, of course, is repetitive or unrealistic tiling. And here are some examples that you won't want to get at the end. So when you have the same tile, the same pattern that is repeated on each tile, trust me, it doesn't look good. Each tile has to be unique. Each tile has to be original, so that it will look good and it will look realistic. And if you can pay attention at the first image, for example, you can see how the textures pass just continues from one tile to another. This is also wrong because in real life it doesn't work this way. You won't find tiles that will be just like one piece at one, just cut from the same piece. Of course, even only if there are big slabs, but big slabs won't have groots and seams like this. So this is a challenge that usually happens, and we'll fix that in this session using a structure tiling approach that gives control, realism, and variation. The next challenge that we face while working on bathroom visualization is flat lighting. Bathrooms are often small, enclosed spaces with limited natural light, or even without natural light, even worse than that. And glossy materials and mirrors, there are a lot of them, and at once you'll get blown out white, harsh shadows, or totally flat renders that just look dead, that won't look realistic at all. So what you need in this case is to control light so that it will feel natural, it will feel balanced, so that will give the necessary realism and clarity of the visualized room. And of course, we'll talk about light mix as well, because it's a powerful tool that can help a lot in this type of scenes. The next challenge is too many reflective surfaces, because actually bathrooms are usually small, but when you have a lot of shiny surfaces, a lot of there are mirrors, there is reflective glass, there are chrome, there can be reflective tiles, and many more other materials that are really shiny and where you can get a lot of will reflect actually everything. This type of issue, what type of issue can bring this is actually noise that will appear in renderings if the light isn't balanced and if the reflection is not set up properly, correctly. And of course, the bad camera placement. One of common mistakes is when without having enough space in the room, placing a camera can bring to really cramped angles, distortions of models, and it doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't feel good, and there are techniques that can improve the frames, that can actually make the visualization better, just with some special tricks that I'll show you today in this masterclass. So because we'll pass to the practical part of this masterclass, I have here for you a kind of checklist that I recommend. Maybe you can do even print screen if you want, if you'd like, where you can come back to this video after this live will end. But what you can consider while walking through all these common mistakes, all these issues can kill the realism, and that's the worst what can happen actually with the final renders. So here are some specific aspects, actually 5 important aspects that make or break bathroom renders. So I'll go through each of them so that you can check, and you can also use this checklist to verify your interior bathroom, so that making sure that all the process is going right and you get the right results. So the first one, of course, is the layout and the camera placement, avoiding distortion, making sure that the key elements are all inside your frame so that you give the right information about this room. The tiling control and realistic materials breakups, there should be imperfection, there should be variation, there should be tiling layout placed really well so that it will give that nice touch of realism. And of course, controlled reflection and materials. Materials are always important. How well they will reflect light, how well will be the bump and rawness set up, and so on. The next aspect is the efficient lighting setup. Small spaces, especially without natural light, come with a lot of problems. If you have natural light, it's an easier situation, let's say like this. But what we have to do is to balance between realism and clarity so that everything is clear inside and we can get the expected result. And of course, the focused post-production, the last checked point, but here we talk not just about correcting, color correction, contrast, blooming, and so on, but it's how much we use it. And it's always important not overdoing this. It's important to have balance here too. So the balance, I think, will be one of the most important words that I will repeat during this masterclass. So if you'll stay with us until the end, we have a special bonus for each of you that are present in this masterclass. So you'll have access, we'll have full access to all the project files that we'll use at today's sessions. And we talk about 2 scenes that you will explore different situations. So at the end, you'll get the full access to all these files. Let's go through all the important aspects, all the important steps and apply it practically, and then at the end you'll be able to get your bonus. Okay, and now let's dive in 3ds Max. Okay, let me just open my 3ds Max scene. I think you can see it right here. So we'll explore 2 situations. We'll have a bathroom with a window, which means that we'll have natural light coming from outside, and we'll have a second situation. So this actually is the scene you've seen in all the videos where we talked and invited you to this masterclass. So here you can see it just in gray color. So it's just the model of it. Each of the scenes I usually recommend organizing really clear on layers so that easily you can get access to each part of the scene that you need, simplifying and adding everything you need in this scene. So the second situation is a half bath, actually, is a bathroom without a window, without natural lighting, where we'll pay more attention to artificial lighting. So we have here just the toilet part and the sink. So you'll also notice that I've used almost similar models, but in 2 different styles. The first one with the natural lighting will be in black and white colors, so is the one you've seen during our invitations and at the beginning of this live. And the second one will be in contrast a little bit more colorful, so I'll keep it like let it be a bit of surprise for you till the end, so until you can see the result of this one too. So we have both these scenes that we'll explore for today. So, and we'll start, of course, with tiling. It's the first part. This is a part of the modeling, actually. And because I have already the tiles placed in here, I will just hide my layer with the tiles so that I can get back just the walls to use for this scene. Okay. And also, I'll do the same in the second. Yeah. So, that's how it looks right now. Okay, and we'll start with this one. I think I need to move some of these tiles on the hidden layer so that I can do it from scratch, so that I can show you all the process step by step. Okay. Yes. And secondly, I will keep just my base structure, just my walls, so that I can easily go through this scene and place the tiling that I need in here. So let me just turn off all the others and keep just my base structure. Yes, here it is. So you will notice that I have a backface cooling applied here, which means that I can see through my walls and I can easily explore what I have inside this room. It is a really small room, so because it's a half bathroom. But what I'll use now for tiles is the plug-in floor generator. I'm pretty sure that you've heard about it. If you didn't, it's important for you to start using it, because it's an indispensable tool that helps a lot in generating different tile patterns and will help you quickly create all the necessary tiles you have in your scene, but not just tiles. It actually can be used for more other interesting stuff. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is how we can easily adjust the same type of tiles on 2 or 3 of the walls, so that can be connected in between them, so that they will always be aligned with their grouts, and they will be easily controlled in time. So I will start with a left view where I can see actually the door, and for using floor generator I prefer using shapes. It can also be done with planes, or it's important to have just 2D objects, not 3D, because the floor generator will crash instantly. So better to go with shapes or plane. So I will start with a rectangle, of course using snap toggle in 2.5 to make sure if working with line you have all planar, or if working with shapes it will be much easier. Just I will go and place a rectangle. So, and because on this wall I will have the door opening, I will just uncheck start new shape and add to the existing rectangle another one that will actually add my door opening. Let me show you what I've got in here. So it's this spline here. I will isolate it just to show you the next process. Just going to modify, and I will move a little slightly outside these 2 vertices, and an easy way to get just the needed outline for the wall where the tile will be placed is to use Boolean operations right inside the editable spline. Select your main spline, the outline of the wall, select Boolean, press Boolean, and check or click on the second shape. So this way you will get the second shape subtracted from the first one, and you'll get a quick outline of the wall without the door opening. You can also go just with line and outline each corner point you need, but for me this one is a quicker way and you'll get a quicker result. So let me show you what I've got now. So I have this outline of the wall, and I will try to fix the floor generator modifier that will help me quickly adjust and give the needed size for the tiles. So in my case, I have tiles 600 on 600. So 3ds Max already remembered my previous settings, so it will be quicker to pass through them, not taking too long time. So grout length actually is the distance between tiles. If you use it, I'm pretty sure you know how to set this up. Make sure you give the needed extrude amount and of course the beveling to get nice chamfered edges so that the volume, the model will look nicer and will bring a fine touch of this model. Of course, I will repeat the process for the next part, the opposite wall. So this time I will use not left but right view. Let me go on right. And here I will continue with another rectangle. Again, making sure it is placed, it is aligned with the wall. Yes, here it is. And let me show you here a really quick and nice trick. So you can easily just select the tiles you already set up, go to modify, right click on floor generator and copy the floor generator with all its settings which were already applied. And I'll go back to my new shape. Okay, let's make sure have it in place. Yeah, and now just right click on it and paste instance. Why paste them instance? Because this way you will keep the connection between these two, between settings of this floor generator, and when you want to make some changes, for example, to move up or rearrange the grouts of these tiles, let me show you a quick example. You can see that they will always be aligned perfectly, especially can be visible if I'll add the third wall. I will go with back view, and in the same way I will add another rectangle which should be placed right on the wall. Yep, right click and paste instance the same floor generator with all its settings. Look here, you got this perfect alignment, and again, if I'll try to use offset on Y or on X for rearranging the position of these tiles, you will quickly notice how easily you can control all of them at once. Just let me know if you have used this trick and if you find it useful. I'm really curious, what do you think about this? Okay. Of course, when you need to connect any of the tiles, maybe from the wall with the floor, you can use the same trick. For example, I have this wall with floor in another material, so to disconnect this tile from this wall from the other two, I will just use the Make Unique button here. Okay, then I will copy floor generator from this one, and I will go with another rectangle from top view to generate the tiles on the floor. Let me show you this one too. Okay, in this case I could use instead of rectangle line tool, because these tiles should go until the door. So let me go back quickly and readjust it. Absolutely important to use 2.5 snapping tool, otherwise you can get some of the vertices placed on different heights, so you won't want this when working with floor generator, so make sure you have them all aligned in the same on the same height. Okay, so this time I will go and again right click paste instance. Okay, and you can repeat this anytime you want with all other of your surfaces where you use the same tiling. So it will be quick, fast, and with big impact, yeah, because you'll get them perfectly aligned in seconds, actually, just copying and pasting the same dimensions, and of course the same other settings, alignments, offsets, and so on. You also know that you can change the direction of tiles in case you need that, and for that I'll show you. I'll turn on back all my other tiles that I already have prepared for this scene. Okay, so you will see here the same situation. Okay, and I have here behind the mirror and where the sink is placed more interesting or more detailed tile that is smaller in dimension. So I've got here 250 millimeters on length and 61 width, and of course what we can easily control here is its direction. So we can get the layout horizontally, the layout vertically, and also you can quickly create a run effect if you need that, just using offset amount right here. Yeah, in case you need something like this. It's not in my case, it is not for my case, but you can use it anytime in your project. Okay, so these are the most important parts I wanted to talk with you in the modeling process. It's the same for the second scene, where I can quickly show you the parameters I have for this scene. So I have squared tiles here that are actually 100 on 100 millimeters. So I have grouts. Grouts actually are empty spaces, and in the process, at the step where you work with materials, you just have to apply the color of the grouts directly on the wall behind, and it will actually give the needed effect for all the grouts you have between the tiles. So it is simply simple, and you can quickly adjust it. Also, I have some bigger tiles on the floor. Here are 900 on 900, and really big slabs on the walls. So they are entire height, just a few grouts from in a few places visible. So let me turn off edged faces so that you can clearly see that. Okay, so that's what I have in here for tiles. And now we'll try to move on to the setting up the light, because it's the second important part when working with visualization, actually in any situation, in bathroom inclusively. But in this case, we'll explore two situations. The first is the one. The first one is with natural light, because we have here a window where we'll be able to get the environmental light from the outside, and the second one will be just with artificial light. So we'll explore both situations, because you can say that having a big window, it's not that difficult to solve many problems, but actually it can be solved in each of these situations. Okay, let's explore first one where we have natural light. So for this case, I am using just a Corona Sky for environment. You can add in some specific situation the Corona Sun as well, if you want to get those special effect lights shadows from the sun and so on. It can be applied for sure, but in my case, I have just an environmental light that was made just with Corona Sky. So for that, in Material Editor, let me open it. Just find Corona Sky in the maps rollout, so you can find it right here. And of course we'll need, because I have a window and I have blinds on this window, I won't need, it won't be so important to have any specific environment view from inside. So I will limit this scene just on the skylight, but to make sure I won't get that clear line between the horizontal line, I prefer to blur it a little bit. So fake blur horizon, I just set it up to 0.3. And of course, without sun, the sky will give a really cool light. It will be a very blue light from outside. So also I prefer desaturating it, so using a Corona color correction and giving the maximum -1 to desaturate, to get rid of the blue color from the sky. So what we can do now with this, this prepared Corona Sky, I will go to Render Setup, okay, to Scene tab, and in Environment, okay, I'll delete what I have here before. I've used before the same, but just make sure I'll show you these steps again. Just drag this this node from here and place it instance. Important to be instance, so any changes made here will be applied here too. Go with OK. And because I want to test to see how will this look at this stage before texturing and working with materials, I've prepared gray material, a test gray material, and I've override to all the models in the scene so that I cannot distract my attention to the colors or to the materials, and just to see how the light and shadows place inside my interior. So let's get in a camera view, maybe this one. I'll make sure I have all my inside lights, because I have some inside decorative lights, artificial lights, so I want to make sure they are turned off. So this layer should be turned off, and I will run interactive rendering. Okay, let me start it now. So we can quickly adjust the amount of light we have from outside just using the simple exposure. Yeah, and you can see how the shadows and the lights will play in this, for this specific frame. But also what I have here additionally added, because sometimes if we overexpose it or have it not enough, sometimes we can use additional tone mapping elements so that it will get the right effect. For example, highlight compression when you have overbright surfaces, or any other things like this. I will open at the end some of my final files, so I will be able to show you all the tone mapping elements I've used in my scene, so that you can try to extract some information from that too, because of course 1.5 to 2 hours is not enough to discuss each detail like this. Okay, so we can also go to another view. Let's take a look here. So also you can see how the light comes in. I've excluded from my override materials the glass and the window glass and the glass from the shower, so that I can see how the light passes through and to have this natural light in my space. Okay. And because I have prepared some of artificial lights, let me show you which lights I've used here. I have two lights behind this wall with the toilet. I have mirror lights that actually are created just with corona lights, so we'll be able to see them later. And I have a decorative light here for some shelves behind the shadow wall, this interesting element that will come with an interesting effect of lighting behind these shelves, and two more corona light in rectangle shapes in the ceiling, right on this side and this side too. I've turned them on, and let me show you quickly what can we see in interactive rendering when we have these lights here. So what I have to mention here, and really important, you always need to follow the right let's say it's hierarchy. How do you set up the lighting? If you have natural lighting, always start with natural lighting, then go with artificial main or general lighting, and then go with local lighting, and at the end the decorative or more specific detailed lighting, because this way you'll make sure that you've set up well the first one, and then the second one is adjusted just to the first one, the third to the second, and so on. And this way you'll get a balance between how each of these lights will work. If you'll place them all at once and you'll try to figure out which works, which not, it will be more difficult. Of course, I also recommend every time in other masterclasses I've talked about this as well. Light mix is another powerful tool that can be set up from scene light mix. It will appear here in the render elements. It can be controlled and readjusted also from here. So that in real time, also we can easily control, not only control, but also adjust each of these lights so that we can make sure we get the needed result. In this case, you will also notice that I've used warm color. So I have warm color for the light, so that I want it in contrast with this cold interior where we have just black and white, to bring that touch of warmth, so in contrast, so that in this way we've got this nice accent using these lights. So let me show you from other point too. Okay, that's another side. One more side here. The same warm light. You can feel the contrast. Especially when we'll get all the models with their reflection level, with their materials, it will bring those warm touches that bring a lot of realism and interesting effects for an interior. Okay, that's how it looks for this scene. And now let's move to the second one, where we have the bathroom without a window, and where we actually have, let me turn on everything I have in this scene. Okay, everything I think beside the lights Okay, I will turn off all the decorative lighting, and let's see how can we solve the same situation but using as the main light as the main lighting the artificial lighting. So I have two spots right on the ceiling, so I will try to fix two lights, corona lights. It will be, because they are round shaped, I will use disc and just place it. Okay, I have a hidden layer, so I will just have to move on to activate the lighting layer so that I will place them in the right right place. Okay, so here it is. Of course, I'll need to bring it up to my spot. It won't be directly visible, so I will place it just next to the spot, making sure that it's not inside or not too high so that the light will show up. Okay. Next, I will create an instance copy. Always use the instance copies for objects that should have the same properties. It easy up the process. You won't need to change each time each of them separately. Okay, so let me go to one of the camera. Yep, here it is. And of course, I will do the same thing. Let me open and make sure I have material override here to activate it. Yes, because I want just the gray material. And I recommend doing this material override because it makes easier to understand how the light affects your interior, and of course how the shadows and everything works without distracting you from to different colors or materials that are not maybe already adjusted for your scene. So let's go with interactive rendering here as well. Okay, I have it in here. It's not too bright. Of course, we can adjust either the intensity of this light or the overall exposure. But before doing that, I recommend instead of using just a simple corona light in this shape, even if I gave some directionality in here. Do you know what directionality does? At 0, you use it lights all 180 degrees, but increasing this value, the angle of the light will narrow, so you'll get a more conic effect. Okay, but instead of doing that, to get a more interesting light effect with more interesting shadows and reflections, I will use an IES file that I will load quickly right here, just pressing on None button. So I have a quick set of IES that can be accessed. You'll have them at the end in the end files this set too, so you can experiment with them as well. So let me choose one of them. So this type of files, what actually gives us a different shape for the light. You can see actually how it changed in here too, but the dimension of this its gizmo size, yeah, which can be controlled. If it's too big and bothers you, you can easily adjust it. But what you can here control, you can try different IES, of course. Let me show you a few of them so that you can see the difference. Some of them can have narrower directionality, some of them can be higher directionality, have different rays that are redirecting in different angles so that you can get different results. Let me show you this one. It's more contrast with the lower effect on the bottom and more on the upside. I will stop at the first one. It has some interesting shadows, but it's not too complicated. But in the same time, it gives a nice effect for this small bathroom. Okay, so all the other stuff like controlling the intensity, controlling the temperature of the light is still available in here. I have a little bit warm light effect, but don't overdo it for general light, because it can give too much yellow in all your scene, and you want, in most of the cases, you won't get this effect. Okay, so let me also show you what other lights I have in this scene. So I have some additional decorative lighting. The same here for the all behind the toilet, and I have a mirror. The mirror will be visible on the next step because it's with Corona Light material and it's overridden now. And I have 2 more decorative lights. Okay, let me turn them on. So these 2 are, yeah, this one up here that will lighten my tiles in here. The one is right on bottom of this countertop, and of course I have those 2 behind this wall. Let me show you what we have as a result with this light turned on. Turning on the interactive lighting. I have them turned off here too, so making sure. Okay. Let me see which one controls which. So I prefer giving them specific names so that I can easily navigate through them and see which one gives what effect. So here is the this side of the bathroom, and we have the other one right here. So this lighting in here and this light on the ceiling that also gives some interesting effects for this tiling right here. You can feel this this game of shadows and lights, and you can feel how they work together, and that decorative light just give additional touch, and they are not the main light that brings light in this scene. So spots will remain the most important parts of this scene. So let me I can turn them off or on, and either way we can see clearly what we have in this scene. That's one of the most important things. Okay, let's bring them back. And now let's move to some of the materials that I want to create with you for this scene. So we'll run through a few of them. Of course, we don't have enough time to texture and to create materials for the entire scene, but as I've mentioned, at the end of this masterclass, you'll get the entire scene with all the material libraries from these scenes, this both scene, and with render presets all ready to be used, to be for you to be able to work with on this scene and to repeat the process so that you can learn more from this entire masterclass. So hope it will be useful, so just stay close with us. By the way, give me some signs in the chat to make sure you are still there, that everything is clear for you, that is it interesting or relevant for you. Let me know in the chat so that I can continue and get to the next step, that will be actually the materials. Okay. until I'll get your responses, I will just go to the next step. So the next what I will do will be actually the material for these tiles right here. Maybe we'll go in this one here, the squared one. Let me just make sure I get a closer view so that we'll be able to explore more with these tiles. Maybe I'll show you a quick preview for these tiles. I'm pretty sure you've seen them. So it's these shiny white tiles with really nice reflections that will be the most simple from all others because it will be a plain color, but the rawness or the reflection is what makes it look better and so nice. So let me show you how to do that. Because I have it overridden in materials, I will make sure I exclude this from overriding so that all the next steps will be easy to watch in interactive mode and to control all the settings. Okay, let's open material editor. So for this tile, I'll use Corona Legacy MTL. Okay, let me quickly find it. By the way, you can anytime rename material for easier control and find any of the needed materials. I will apply it right away to make sure I can run the interactive rendering and watch in real time how it will affect the tiles. Okay, so first what we need is to pick the color for this material. It is actually an white, but not a perfect white. Try to avoid pure colors like perfect white, perfect blacks, because they don't exist in nature in their pure version. So use something close to, but not the perfect values for them. So in this case, I will have something like 226, something like this value for, it's a light gray actually, it's almost like white, yeah. Okay, so we'll need to turn on the reflection. Okay, and of course, so let me make sure I have it applied. Just a quick check. Okay, let me open it back. Yeah. One more thing in here, we'll be reducing the glossiness to 0.85, something like this, so we can get instantly the preview here. And for a better shiny effect, I'll use a Fresnel IOR of 2. Increasing it will increase the amount of reflection that will bring a more glossy effect, but not perfect reflective, but will be with slightly reduced glossiness. Okay, let's go to preview. Okay, let me make sure I'm inside the room because I've just used perspective view, and this can bring us to. Okay, let's take a closer view. It's a bit too high, the luminosity in here. Yeah, let me show you this way. Yeah, you can see now here this effect. Of course, the groots will be black. Now they are with the test material gray one. Actually, we can exclude the walls too from overriding. Let me quickly select them and do it right away. Okay. It will be better contrast, and you will be able to feel these tiles and this material better with black grouts. So I have already placed material. Actually, it's a really dark gray, and it has minimal reflection because we don't want the groots to be shiny. They should be really matte. So that's why these tiles will stand out on this black wall, just because of the settings we've used right here. Let me show you again. So just Fresnel eyewear, just the color, and just the glossiness slightly reduced. So that's the most simple tile I've used in both of these scenes, but I will show you a bit more complicated version of this tile, but this time we'll go to the second scene right here. Also, maybe I will go a little bit closer to this wall, because I have a similar wall here, but the shape is a little bit different for the tiles, and here will appear a nice color instead of the first one. Okay, let me go and exclude them from overriding material. Okay, let me quickly check here the settings. Almost there. Yeah. So going back to material editor, creating a new material for that too. We can go actually with both War Corona Physical, War Corona Legacy. I like controlling the rawness, or let's say the glossiness more in Legacy, but it's more because I used more to use, but both of them work as well. So let me go and do some changes here. So instead of using a simple plain color, in this situation I will use a variation of the same color. So for that, I will use a multi-texture, which is also an external plugin, an external plugin that can be installed and used whatever you want. It is really nice and easy to apply. So let me quickly find it. It's right in the general maps, multi-texture. It works well with floor generator, so if you use them always you can combine them together, but we'll explore the other situation with multi-tiles, also can be used as alternative for multi-texture. Okay, so what we'll do here, I will apply it over there. And in multi-texture, usually most of 3D artists apply different or a bunch of prepared textures with different variations just to apply on the tile. In my case, I'll switch it to use color and change the color I want for this scene. So I will go and type in the certain numbers that I have for this tile. So it's something like this, 75, 101, 104. Okay, it's a kind of dark turquoise, gray bluish, something like this as a color. But to get a more interesting effect of it, I will give it a random variation in multi-texture settings. So going just with 01 here, 01 here, and 01 here. Yep. So you can see on sample how it affects the color variation of your material. Next, I'll go to general settings of the base material so that I can turn on the reflection, which is important here too. Okay, I will slightly reduce the glossiness. I don't want a total glossy effect, so I'll reduce it to 0.8. Slightly diffused the reflections in here, blurred, yeah. And of course, I want one more additional effect here, and I will get it in the bump with a noise map. I will find it right here and just reduce the size at the lower effect to make sure I can see how this noise will affect the tile. I can turn its visibility. Okay, maybe I will isolate it for a while to make sure I can see it. Let me check again if I can find it in my preview. Yes, here it is. So that's the noise. You can see this slightly waved effect. I think it's a little bit too, the effect is too much. We can easily reduce the amount of bump just going to the maps rollout in the basic material, and the base, the bump amount I will reduce to 0.3. It's more than twice. It's more than twice, yeah. So we'll get that wavy effect, but it won't be too much. If you feel that this variation is too big, you want them closer, this color to each other, you can easily come back and readjust the values here, and you'll get, for example, lower values will give you a lower variation. Higher values, let me go with 0.2 or maybe 0.5. Okay, you get the point. Yeah, it's a really big contrast and difference here. So I'll reduce it back to 0.1. The same with hue and the same with saturation. Three settings right here. Okay, let me go back here, maybe to find a nicer view. I think I need my mirror with its light also visible as material, so that we can see more of this effect right here. Okay, so here it is. You can feel and see it right here. Of course, in preview, in interactive, it won't give you all the details, but you should. I will show you at the end the final render so that you can see more exactly the final effect, the final result of this tile. Okay, and now I will go ahead with the third material, which will be a terrazzo material on this side of the wall, on the floor, and on the back side of this wall too. So I've selected all of them. Maybe I'll go to this camera view. I will show you some tips for the cameras as well, but it will be in the next step. So let's open material library. Let's give some place for the new material. So here we'll go with Corona, let it be Corona Legacy as well. Oh, sorry, not this one. Yep. So here I'll use multi-texture, but this time it will be with maps, with external images that will be applied here. Just let me find the same it can be done with multi-texture or with Corona multi-map as well. So we can try this time Corona multi-map. Let me just quickly find it. It is right here. This one is built in Corona, so you won't have troubles in finding it. Okay, so let's go to diffuse. I will load the batch load textures so that I can easily find my my textures. They are right here. So this type of colorful terrazzo. Open them. Maybe lowering a bit the blur multiplier, and of course we'll need to add reflection for this material, and I will reduce the glossiness as well around 0.8 to get a nicer effect right here. What else can we do here for a more interesting or variation of reflection for this texture? I will add an additional color correction in reflection glossiness channel, and I will connect it to my already set up Corona multimap. So I'll connect them. And here, because usually when we use textures in other channels, we have to have them in black and white. So actually I'll go this time I'll use not Corona color correction. I wanted just simple color correction because we have here some quick filters that can bring us the needed effect. So this time will be monochrome right here. So you'll get a black and white effect. And as well, I will decrease the contrast. I don't want to have that big contrast between the reflection glossiness on different parts of the material. So let's go with somewhere around here, and as well a bit lighter. So this will give the same variation on the material. And one more thing, we can control how this applies on the entire material and how much will be the value from here and how much the map that we've just set up. Just mixing them, decreasing the amount of reflection glossiness in here. I'll go somewhere at 10%. Okay, so let's apply it to selection. As well, I will make sure I have them excluded from override material. Okay, and let's see a preview. Okay, yeah. Yes, that's the material I wanted to get in here. I will show you actually one of the renders for this scene, so that you can see the difference. You can see the noise in the tiles, the color variation that can be easily controlled, and of course this terrazzo material. This render can show better, yeah, with each detail that can be noticed in really close-ups, in images that are close-up. Okay. And I will quickly show you the fourth material, but this time I will just open the created material to show you the difference. So here is the anthracite dark gray color for the floors and for other elements on this in this scene. So I'll open again the example for you to know what I'm talking about. So is this material on the floor, and also what you can see on these walls right here. So what I've used here is again Corona Legacy multi-map, where I've loaded all the variation tiles for this material. And also for this material I have prepared other black and white textures that were loaded in the same way, but this time they were connected with reflection color, with reflection glossiness, and with bump to get a more complicated effect, to get a little bit of bump and a little bit of variation for glossiness on each texture separately. This way you will get all these textures applied randomly on your floor generator, and you'll get those unique, each unique tile will look interesting and will be more realistic. So this way, or also you can use multi-texture loading the same set of textures. Let me just now go with unchecking material override so that I can show you quickly how it looks actually. So that's the ready material with all the textures. Let me go to a preview. Okay. I think I'll need a closer view to make sure we can see some details in here. Of course, for more details, we'll need to run some more of the render production rendering, because interactive rendering is giving us enough quick result, but not all the details can be previewed as well. But anytime you can control this and use different previews in different situations. Okay, so that's with the materials, and now let's talk about cameras. I know some of you asked about framing, how to get this camera placed so that everything is clear, that nothing is distorted, that angles look good, and nothing is bothering the eye when you watch and look at these renders. So here are a few tips that I want to share with you. And for that, let me just make my cameras visible, the ones I already have. I will show you one or two how to set up them, but then I will just show you what I've used in some of other frames I have already done for these scenes. So maybe I will start with this one. It's more tight, is a tight space, so it's usually more problematic in this way. So we want to get nice perspective, nice views without distortion. So in this case, start with camera creation. Usually I work with Corona Cam, but physical is good as well. If you prefer that, use that. But what should we do in this situation? So first of all, you will need to choose if you want to place a frontal view where you watch directly to a specific wall, for example this wall, or for example this wall here. When you place a camera and its default settings from inside to the object you want to visualize, what you'll get actually will be this type of distortion. So I can't get in the same time all the height of this room, or all the specific information I want for this place. More than that, here can come if we try to solve this problem just setting up or making the camera wider. You won't solve it, you'll just increase even more and more the distortion for the perspective. So don't do that. This will always give you bad results. Don't increase the field of view in small spaces. You should do vice versa, the opposite side. You will need to decrease the field of view for slight and nice views. But to solve the camera position that cannot fit inside the room, we'll go this way. So I will bring it back for now for 45, but we'll decrease it a little bit later. So for that, I will move this camera outside the room, and instead of this will help get more of the wall I need in my frame. Let's go to camera settings, and here you can find environment and clipping rollout, where you can enable camera clipping and enable showing viewport so that you can easily control the position of clipping. Let me quickly show how it looks. So you'll get this line right here. So everything that's from camera up to this line won't be visible, will be clipped, and this won't appear in your view. And everything from this line on the other side will be included on your frame. Let's go inside and see how does it work. So I will come a little bit closer. Okay, and you can see how clipping, I'm moving the clipping right now, and you can see how it affects my frame. I will decrease now the focal point, the field of view, because I don't want it to be so distorted. I still feel it distorted, so I'll go with something around 30 or 35. I will go even further and move again the clipping plane until I get what I need for my view. One more important thing to consider here. When you have these narrow spaces like bathrooms or any other tight rooms, when you set up a frame, never use horizontal frames. Squared or vertical frames will work better because you have a higher, the height is bigger than the width of this space. So this way, having a vertical camera placed, a vertical frame will bring all the information you need in your frame. So usually you can even adjust the proportions of the frame as the proportion of the wall you want to include in your frame. So that's a good tip to consider. Okay, next, if you want to get an perfect view looking to this wall, an easy way to align perfectly the camera perpendicular to this wall is to use, having this camera selected, is to use align camera. Use align camera and click on the wall right in front of you. Okay, let me check again. And this will help you make the target and the camera aligned perfectly in a line. And also, you can easily control the height of the camera using the Z value here. So I don't have the camera selected, I guess so. Let me just check. Yeah. Don't use too high position of camera because you don't want to have a frame looking from the ceiling up down. So you want to have it more accurately looking in front of you. And also when you move the target and camera on different levels, you get this slightly distortion on vertical perspective. This can be also easily solved just with one check here, automatic vertical tilt. So it will perfectly straighten your vertical lines for perspective so that you can get really nice looking frame. So let me show you the same how it worked with other cameras. For example, the camera I have in this direction. So it is absolutely the same thing. Let me show you here. The 30 is field of view. As well, you can see here, make it visible, the clipping plane. is right here, the line. You can see what is included and everything until this line is not included in the camera. Easy to control. So, and the same thing I will show you in the second scene. Let me show you here. For example, I have here in front of the camera the glass for the shower. So if I uncheck the camera clipping, actually I have not only the wall but also the window, or let's say the glass for the shadow in front of the camera, and I won't be able to see clearly all this part of the wall. So clipping helps a lot solving this problem. And of course, don't forget about field of view, because you don't want to get distorted perspective. Keep it lower, and even lower values for close-ups when you want to get close views or detailed views like this. In my case, for this frame, I have a field of view even of 15. Pay attention, 15. Lower effects decrease the perspective angles and make it nicer, closer, and less distorted. And it is one of the most important aspects for camera placement and close-ups. So let me now show you how does it look in my frames. What frames did I get with these scenes? So here are a few of the renders I have for my scene, black and white scene, as I called it previously. So the frame looking, frontal frame looking to these two things. I have this nice render that looks through the door, so it has additionally the depth of field applied. I have this frame right here looking to this light effect from the shelves. Okay, one more render here, and of course some special effects, some close-ups that brings details for this type of renders. Maybe I can even open them here. Yep. Here you go. Okay, this one as well. And as well, I'll show you for the second bathroom, the colored one. So here you can feel the light from the IES, which gives this nice shadow effect right here. I didn't pay too much attention, but what I have here on this wall, you can see this 3D effect. Actually was made also with floor generator. So just giving bigger length and lower width so that you can get this nice effect. Actually, floor generator, as I have said, you can use in much more other different situations. We have a video on YouTube, 3 unusual ways to use floor generator. If you are interested, go on our channel and check this video. I'm pretty sure that it will be useful and you'll find out some unique information about this tool. Okay, here is the close-up also, looking this side. So here you can see the reflections, the shadows, a little bit of depth of field effect, blurred focal points, and so on. So, and here, as you've seen, the terrazzo and the tiling here as well. Yeah. And as I mentioned, I have additionally opened a few of the CXR files that I usually recommend to have when you have possibility to render and to save this type of format. Will help you a lot in post-production, because you after you finish your render, after you close your 3ds Max, you can easily open these files, and easy to control the post-production options here. For example, in this case, I can easily work with exposure, add LUTs, which are additional filters. Let me just turn them off to show you how would look the this render without these post-production elements, or even turning them all off. Okay, I'll bring them on. So I have filmic here. Additionally, I've add some combined some different filters like ground control punch one. Also, I have here this one, contrast soft, and this one, control grunge, and all of them in different amounts, not in their full amount, in their full effect. So I've prepared them in this way, and also I can easily turn on off different lights from my scene. The mirror separately, the one from the back, decorative here, and the sailing as well. All of them can be easily adjusted as intensity, as color, and I really love this tool. If you don't use it, go ahead and use this one, because it saves you a lot of time. You can generate different renders with different lighting scenarios with one single render. I think it worth it. Okay, so I will turn it on, and the same you can see here. Some of the tone mapping that was applied here. Feel the difference. And of course, the bloom effect. Don't overdo it. If you use bloom effect in really high values, like in this situation, I will give a higher value here, you'll get it won't look so nice. You need to give it a really subtle effect. So control it with slightly values so that it won't give you too shiny results. So control it this way. Okay, so the main point after all this stuff I've tried to show you is that everything should be in balance. First of all, you have to make sure the lighting is correctly set up and it works good for your certain situation. Secondly, make sure that the materials get the right amount of reflection, combine reflective and matte materials so that they will be looking interesting in contrast when you combine them, because you already have mirrors, glass, and all other shiny. Use matte materials too. And of course, the post-production and camera angles that actually solves a lot. If you have good frames, you can save even a bad project. Or if you have very good project but have bad framing, you can just destroy your results. Okay, and now, because I walked you through all these steps, I want to give you some more information before I give you access to all these scene files. So you will get access to all the libraries, all the scene, the models, the presets, render presets, post-production, so on, so that you can explore and do it by yourself. And that wraps up the full step-by-step workflow for today's scene, and we covered a lot. Yes, we did. Let me just come back to my presentation because I have some more important thing to give you. Okay, so all this was just a tip of the iceberg. Let me come back to the main idea. So our course, Master 3D Interiors from Basics to Photorealism. It's a pre-recorded course that is available right now. You will have access for 6 months, and the tools we explore there are 3ds Max and Corona Renderer. What we have as a base principle on this course is efficient learning, optimized workflow, and complete process. We think that learning should not be difficult, should not be hard, but should be easy to understand, easy to follow, and you can just work smart and do more things and make sure you have the best workflow strategy for your interior visualization process. So you'll get access to 50 plus pre-recorded lessons, step-by-step video tutorials where you get access to all the necessary files to explore and to use by yourself in order to practice and to understand the information you've received in a video. Access to essential resources including material, libraries, 3D models, plugins, and more to streamline your workflow. You of course will have homework assignments and project guidance so that we can come with feedback and you can get more and more of the possible results for your project, working project, and any other assignment you get in there. Access to a private WhatsApp group with all students and instructors so that you can be in touch and close to each step, or you can be able to ask anything you need at any time. So what's special in this course, because we've put a lot of soul in creating this and we think it's worth its value, and it's really easy to follow and brings a lot of good information, important and useful information. It's focused on practice, a lot of practice, because practice is the key to success actually in any field, but in this visualization field most of all. We have included a lot of simple tools that will come with big impact, because we think that the good results are not in unnecessary complexity, but actually it's in how we solve different problems and bring it as simple as possible. This course is for you if you are a beginner or intermediate, or you already work but want to skill up your working process, and want to follow a step-by-step workflow that will bring you to good results. And of course, tutor guidance, which will be there for you to help you grow and to keep doing things better. So it's time for the bonus. So I hope that all the files you'll have following the link in the chat that will appear right now. There will be the link where you'll be able to download the files for the both scenes. I repeat, the both ones, the black and white and the colored one, the Terrazzo style one. You will get, what you'll find inside will be 3ds Max files, material libraries, the render presets, all the textures, and of course even the pack of IES files that can be used in any other projects you have in your situation. And thanks for making this, making time to make it possible to be present at this live masterclass. And of course I hope to meet you on the next level when if you decided to enroll this course. We'll be glad to have you there and to make it possible, working easy, working not hard, but working smart in this field, of course. Let me check the chat. I know that there can be a delay in the messages that I can receive in here. Of course, Ellie, we have different type of masterclasses, and modeling sometimes is one of the focus point. You can find actually a previous live where we talked about full process of modeling a kitchen from zero to the final result. So take a look over there. It's a good one too. But of course, we will do different other masterclasses for you. Okay. Let's see what other questions. Okay, about excluding reflection surface from HDRI lighting setup. Of course, there are additional options in setting up lighting where we can mix what is visible in reflection. We can override reflection, refractions, visibility of what outside the window. Of course, there are different other scenarios of lighting. Actually, we have all these. Excuse me. Actually, we have all these steps detailed explained in our course. If you are interested, just go ahead and enroll the course, and you'll see step by step how to do it with HDRI, with sun and sky, using other methods that helps you include different environment effects and interior lighting as well, how to set up correctly at light mix, how to save, how to render, how to set up render for better results, and so on. So there is a lot of useful stuff that can be learned, and step by step it is included in the course. So if you are interested, just follow the link so that you can find out more about this. Thanks for all of your appreciations. It was a pleasure for me as well. Thanks for coming to this masterclass and encouraging me, and I'm really glad that it was helpful and you found it useful and you liked it. Of course, a certificate will be issued at the end of the course. For doing the course in our academy, you will get this at the end, after completing, of course, all the lessons, all the assignments. Let me see if I didn't miss any other important question. Someone was asking about system configuration. We get a lot of this type of questions, but usually it's not a lot about computer configuration. Of course, there is a minimum that should the computer the program have requirements for working well, but it's more about optimizing the scene, making it work, and even on a lower less powerful computers, you can get the same result if you work right. A large space like 180 square meters, single-story house, one full scene or separate 3ds Max files for each room. Okay, it depends on situation. It depends what will be there, how complex will be the scene. If you can make it all in one, it can work. If your computer doesn't support that much information and it takes a ton of time to solve different issues, of course you can separate it in different 3ds Max files, but it all depends on the entire concept. It's hard to answer this question just this way, without more details. Legacy is the difference between legacy material and physical. It's not really a big difference. Actually, legacy material is the one that was there all the time, and the physical material appeared a few years from now. It's a newer material, a newer version with some refinements and some adjustments for setup. And actually, both work well. So depending on what you want to get, you can use one or another. In physical materials, there are a few additional settings that easy some in some situation can easy up some it's an improved, let's say it, an improved version of legacy material. But both can still work well. Hope I answered the question. Okay, guys, thanks a lot again. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And hope to see you in the next masterclass, see you in the course, of course, and to connect with you closer when if you are ready to come in our enroll our course. So have a nice evening, day, or what time is for each of you, I don't know, but hope you'll have a nice time ahead. Bye bye.